yesterday, and they're searchlights for the boat. There's a eyelid stuck into a straw and then a piece of wood underneath, so it's lifted a bit and looks like the stand. I've got to clean them up. They're getting there. I made them out of wood first, but I prefer these. I'm not too sure yet. We'll clean these up and see how they go. Yeah, so I made the portholes less obvious by putting grey in the center of the black. I prefer it this way. The black made a little uneven looking, so I improved the porthole by making a black blob and then touching grey in the center. And yeah, I'm working away on the boat here. We only have like 18 days left and we're going to have our lockdown lifted a bit, so that's good. But really I only have 18 days to finish this boat, and you know, it's easier to focus when you're in the house here all the time, so gotta keep going. I've cleaned up my bench a bit. I got this down in Lidl's was open, so I got this package for like 20 euros, and it cleaned up my shop a bit here in France, so that helps me a bit because it was getting really messy. So here we go, back to the boat. Yeah, so I'm working on detail. None of these that are glued on yet. They're still loose because I'm working on them. But I'm doing the detail of this. I did this edging last night, and I did it with tin and scissors, and just cut out strips like this, a long strip, and bent it around. And I'm going to do the same to this one here, give it a bit more detail. Everything's in the detail now, the fine detail. I had real trouble with these legs. That's the spoke to my bicycle there, those rods. I didn't use the coat hangers. They didn't solder as well, but it worked in the end. And I'm going to put a little edge around this now, clean it up a bit more. I think there's another shelf coming in, like another deck coming in here. I've got to see what the plastic one has. And we'll carry on. So that's what we're at right now. There's a close-up so you can see the detail on this here. And you know, after soldering, make sure you wash off the tin with hot water because the solder creates rust. Yeah, so I'm changing my funnels from these big lanky things like they used to make, which are quite nice, but I've decided they were a little bit too large. I'm going with this kind of more classy look that I'm doing out of pop rivets and grommets. So a nail through the grommet and a nail down to, like, for the stand, and then I cut that and it goes in the pop rivet. So this is what I'm soldering at the moment. There's the grommet, see it there sliding, and I'm going to put it down here. That's just to mark the roughly the center frame. And now we're going to take some flux, dab a little bit around it here. I'm going to solder that on first. Just get my soldering gun closer. Put it in this flux so it cleans a bit. I think you can see that, yes? Get it good and hot. I don't have any solder on that. There we go. And there you go, see, there's your headlight, right? Where we, there you go, there we have our headlight. And then we got a nail, put a nail, now, I don't know if they can do that here, I got to change the camera and everything. Basically, now we have to solder a nail sticking this way for the stand like that, which I will quickly do. So the back nail from the headlamp, oh, can you see that there? Get back to this cross here, I suppose. Oh, is that in the middle there? Right. And we cut off this one in the back. It needs a little grinding now. And it'll be right. And then we put this in the rivet without the nail. And there you have your Hang on, I get something to hold it with so we can see. So you can see it better. So there you have your spotlight. I cut off the nail and I cut off the rivet. Whatever height I want this up, I'll just grind the rivet down a little till it's 5 millimeters and it'll be the right height for 4 of my lamps. And that is the stand and everything. So there you go. That's the look I'm looking for. And so just chop off the nail or cut the rivet to the right size and then cut off the nail. You can even leave it a little shorter and it'll just pop into your rivet once. You can set the rivet on your model and then drop the headlamp into it. A bit of epoxy. There we go. That's how I'm making the spotlights. Long way to go. Another 8 to go. Yeah, so after many hours of different flat spotlights and that, this is what I've come up with. Just move in for you. There they are. Yeah. So what I'm making right now, or more detailed stuff, I'm making these little sides on the boat, the cranes here, and trying to work through how to do that. So I got some copper wire here and straightened it out a little. You know, you put it on a wooden bench like this and you just tap around and it'll become straight, and then use the pliers and then pull it along like that and it'll straighten out quite nicely. It's malleable, so to make the flat area, I just put it down on the vise and hammer it so I get a flat area as well. So it's flat here, then it comes round if you can't see that in the camera. I'll just go down a little with it. There we go, and we're at this hammerhead. There we go. See, it's flat on this part here. And it's got to go have a little hook in it, some kind of little hooks in it. I'm working on it, but I'm thinking of putting these little round curtain rail pieces up underneath. Drill a hole and stick it up underneath there to give it some visual effect like the crane has in the model boat. A little different, but close. So here are my 2 cranes for the side of the ship. Just to explain how this is done, this is a electric cable, the copper wire, and then it's flattened up here, and it's bent, and then this piece is put in, and that's flattened at the end. Now this here on the end is a end of a safety pin for the hook of the crane, and I'm actually using that piece of the safety pin, and I'm going to use those for the hooks. Okay, and I actually have hooks over here somewhere, which I already have done. And here's one. Just one moment. There's the hook, which will go on this way around, like that. So there's a safety pin, copper, and then this copper piece is put in to make this bent out. Now, I put a curtain rail wheel, a 1 of 2. So I've done 2 and drilled through and put them on. And this is just a bit of wood dowel that was laying around, this piece here. Bit of wood dowel with a hole in it, right? I cut it and then I put the hole in it because they split too easily. And then I put this on and it's been epoxied on. Here, these little crane tablets here, or they look like pivotal points, are actually nail heads, the nail soldered on and then cut off to give it a little bit more detail. And there you have it. You have 2 cranes and they're nearly ready to go. It took me quite a long time to get these put together, but it was worth it.